Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back once again. Thank you, Jesus. We are back once again. The Lord has allowed us to see another day, boys and girls. The Lord has allowed us to see another day. And if you don't know who I am, which you should by now, but if you don't know who I am, ladies and gentlemen, my name is CJ Kyles, aka Mr. Fantastic, aka the smartest nigga that ever lived, aka Mr. Simply Amazing. And tonight, you see the topic. Tonight's topic is, do people stay in relationships? Do they stay in relationships for the children, the kiddies, all that good stuff, boys and girls? Listen, if you have a situation you want to chime in, then go right ahead. But before we get to that, I just want to introduce my panel. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen this young woman on the podcast before. She has her opinions and she's very smart, very opinionated, and that's why we love to have her right here on the broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Miss Danielle.
Hi.
Danielle, I want you to introduce yourself to the people and let them know a little bit about you.
My name is Danielle. I'm a nurse. I'm a mother of four boys. I'm a wife. I'm an entrepreneur. And I'm a broadcast co host. Hi,
Hey,
everyone.
hey, that's what I'm talking about. Um, and I know the people may be wondering, that fly piece of equipment on Danielle's face, that's her fly patch, and it matches her outfit. I don't know if she did that intentionally or unintentionally, but nonetheless, it's fly.
Thank you.
All right. Now, let me bring in Mr. Frankie J, who just joined in. Frank, is your audio together? Is it sounding better than it sounded last week, bro?
I can't make promises, my friend. I'm hearing a little small amount of crackling right away as soon as I heard your voice.
Well, I don't hear anything on my end. Frank, where the hell are you at, man? You look like you in a basement trap somewhere, bro. What's going
I
on, man?
yeah. The commies finally got a hold of me, and they're not letting me go until the demands are met.
Oh, Frank, you know we on the algorithm. You can't be saying talking reckless like that. Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Uh, Frankie J, 34 years old, and I'm just struggling to keep my sanity together.
Okay. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have somebody new to add to the broadcast right now. Jamal. Now Jamal's not on camera, but you tell us a little bit about yourself right now.
What's up, everybody? I'm 28 years old, just another brother working on this pandemic, making my money and trying to stay safe.
For sure. I respect that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start. And for all the people that may be watching from wherever they be watching at, y'all welcome to join in. All you got to do is click the link and go ahead and make it do what it do. Now, do people stay in relationships because they have children? Now, before we get into that, I want to ask everybody one by one. Do you all have any children? Now, Jamal, I don't know if you have kids, but Danny, we're gonna start with you. Do you have any children?
Or boy.
Okay. Frank, any kids? No, okay, I think I muted Frank by accident. Frank, go ahead one more time.
Not that I know of.
Okay, not that he knows of. Jamal, you got kids?
No, sir.
No, sir. Okay. All right. Well, since the only person on this panel to have kids right now is Miss Danielle, I'll just start with you since you are the lady on the panel. Danielle, do you feel that most people, well, not most, but do you feel like some people stay in relationships due to having children? Take it away.
Absolutely.
And why do you feel that way? Go ahead and break it down for us.
Well, personally, that's how my relationship started. You know, before I got with my husband, I wasn't in a relationship or like looking for a relationship. I was just enjoying myself. Um, but I got pregnant. And once I got pregnant, it got real. Um,
How did you tell him you
Unfortunately,
were pregnant? Did you tell him like, did you just text him or did you say, "Hey, honey, I got something to tell you. You finna be a father," or like, how did you do it?
I didn't tell him.
Oh,
He told me.
he told you.
Yeah.
He just said, "You know what, babe, you acting kind of crazy, or you just don't seem right. You seem kind of off. Like I think I might have got you pregnant." How did that happen?
Mm-mm. I was planning on leaving to be a truck driver because I had already been trying to go to school to be a nurse, but I got put out because I had missed a semester of payment. And so to get back, I had to pay the semester. So I was like, I had to find another way to make a lot of money fast. And so it was truck driving. And
Man, that sounds like an identical situation I was in. Wow.
in the meantime of leaving, I was living with my ex. I was and I met him at the grocery store and we clicked, we was friends, and I was telling him how I was leaving, and he was like, "You can't be pregnant with my baby out there on the road." And I was just like, "No,
Facts.
I'm about to be pregnant by your baby. Like, I don't even know you like that. Like, we hadn't even kissed or anything at this point." So I really was confused, but
Wait a minute.
whatever.
So were you physically pregnant?
No, we had not even
Oh,
kissed at this point.
oh,
We had
okay.
not
I'm like,
even
okay,
kissed. This
okay,
was just us
okay,
getting to know each other and us telling each other what we were gonna do.
okay.
And I was telling him I was in the midst of leaving. And he was just like, "You ain't about to be pregnant with my baby out there on the road." And I was just thinking, like, what are you talking about? Like, but y'all guys, y'all say anything. So I was just like, he tripping. Like, ain't nobody even think about that. Like, whatever.
All
But
right.
I ended up getting drunk on my birthday. I've been making him use a condom every time, every time. But this
Wow.
time, I went to his house. He did not have any condoms, and I did not feel like waiting for him to come back from the gas station this day.
Damn.
Um,
Damn.
yeah, and he told me I
Well,
was pregnant.
well, there you go. Or there
And
you go.
then maybe right after I confirmed I was pregnant because I had missed my period, my stepson told me that I was pregnant. And I hadn't even told anybody but him. But he knew. So
Okay.
what they're
I
telling
ain't
me.
mad at that. Jamal, let's go to you since you are the newest person to come on a panel. And Teddy, I see you. I'm coming to you in a second. But Jamal, do you feel like people stay together because they're in they have kids? Do you feel like people will stay in toxic situations just because they have kids and try to make it work?
Yes, people stay in toxic any type of situation for all sorts of reasons,
Right.
especially for their kids. They
Hmm.
don't like each other, but they have an understanding. We're like, listen, we're parents. Let's just be parents and deal with each other as we do.
Mm. Okay. All right. I hear that. So let me get to some of these comments right here. Shout out to Samantha Moore. She says, "Hello, first time listener. Shout out to you." Shout out to Maria She Bad Wood. She says, "Yes, we do stay sometime." Shout out to her. What else did she say? Hold on. That was her name. Oh, okay. She was tagging people. Shout out to her for tagging people. She said, "How would he know he don't have kids? How would he know? I don't have kids either. But I'm trying to give you my interpretation. I'm trying to give you my interpretation of what I feel. And I do feel like people sometimes stay together because they got kids. So I'm gonna bring in another person who may have some experience in this area. Mr. Teddy Garrett. Teddy, what's good, player?
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Good, man. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Just sitting there chilling on the road.
Hey, man. So let me get your end of it, man. Do you feel like a lot of people stay because they got children?
Oh yeah, yeah. Matter of fact, I was in the same situation where I stayed because I had kids, and I grew up in a biblical household. My mom was very Christian, very religious, and she always said, if you together, God will bless the household.
For
Which
sure.
I believe it, but the person that I had the children by was not the right person for me to be with. I love my kids. I love the fact that they're here, but I went through about 12 to 15 years of hell just dealing with that person.
Jesus.
And I stayed together because I didn't want my kids to grow up in a single parent's home and be fatherless. And then I'm already a truck driver myself. So I
Right.
make every effort that I can to be in my kid's life. And I took care of the house, paid the bills, and despite the fact of what I was going through, because I wanted my kids to have a stable home. It's gonna come a day where my son is gonna need the father, and my daughter gonna need her father, especially when she start dating. And I think a lot of young ladies that grow up in single families home, when it comes time for them to date, they don't have that father opinion, like, you know, what what's a good man to date. Where my daughter, she's looking at him as a father. I'm looking through him. So yes, I
Facts.
stayed there for the situation of my kids, and then not only that, but to be a positive role model for my son. Because if I wasn't there and with me on the road, he could become victim of the streets. So
For sure.
yes, I endure to make sure my kids grew up, and today we have a very close relationship. And I always think, if I did not stay, which route would I took, and how would my kids end up? My daughter is 20 years old, and she's trying to go in the military. My son's coming going to engineering school. So I sacrificed to be there for my kids, and now that they're grown, now I'm 47. I'm saying, okay, cool. I get it, sacrifice. Now I can travel and see the world, knowing that I was there for my kids. But yeah, definitely
Do you
people do stay in toxic relationships just for the kids.
do you think had you not had stayed that the outcome of your children would have been the same? Do you feel like you still would have been that father that's there, that's in the home, well, not in the home, but that's there taking care of them and everything like that?
Well, I would definitely been there taking care of the kids, but the problem was, she was a toxic person, because I had walked in the house one day, and I had not disciplined my son, but I kind of scolded him about what he had done. Whenever a father see his son doing wrong, he gonna any father that love his son will discipline him. And I had went outside and came back, and she thought I was gone, and I heard her telling him that it's gonna come a day you ain't gonna need your father. Your father will be dead to you, even though he's still living. And I kind of, got in her tail about that. So yeah, if I had a left, she would have used it as the advantage to, put that toxin into him. So, here we is another woman, and I'm not saying all black women. I'm saying, as a woman, she was feeding that poison to them, trying to make it seem like, a lot of parents tell their kids, your dad's dead. You know,
Jesus.
even though he's alive, but a lot of them just don't want the kids to deal with the father. And I walked in a situation where she was feeding toxins to him, and she was just an angry black woman. But because I was there and I was in my kid's life, I truly believe if I was not there, yeah, it would have been different, and my kids would have been mad at me for not being there. And at the age, they don't understand what we go through to make sure our kids, have the best out of life. But as they get older, my daughter come back to me today, and she said, and she's 20 years old. She said, I realized, mom is just not a happy person.
Mm. All
As
right. Well, let
they
me ask you this, and I'm gonna go around the panel after you answer this for me. Do you think before you got with her, was she a toxic person, or was it a situation to where did you love her starting out, or was she just there? Because we do have a lot of situations where we tend to have kids, well, not me, but because I don't have any yet, or if I ever do have some, but we people tend to have kids by people who are just there. You got one night stands, you got instances where, you know what I'm saying, like anything could have popped
right,
off, anything could have happened, just she might have been looking good one night and you might have took a couple shots of Hennessy and she had on some Victoria's
I,
Secret lotion, some of that stripper lotion, and there it go. But I mean, look, you know what I'm saying? Like, was she toxic from the beginning, or was it a fling? Like,
no, I think it was a fling. I always said it was a booty call going back.
oh,
So,
two,
you
two,
know,
because you got two kids, right? Two booty calls gone
yeah.
bad.
Hey, the first one's on her. The second one's on me. I think the second one was when I, kind of took that shot of Hennessy. But she didn't really start changing until she was pregnant with my son. But it was just one of those things. We make decisions in this life. I don't regret, because I love my kids. I just kind of regret the person that I had it with, because I believe that if I had chose the right
Mm,
person, then I would probably be happily, still happily married to her. and we probably have a happy home. But because she just couldn't. Um, for some reason, I personally just didn't mix. Everything about me, I was goal driven. At that time, I was going to college. She wasn't trying to go to college, and then she had a girlfriend in her ear a lot. And like
Mm,
I told her, you ever taking advice from your mom who never been married? You're taking advice from your single friends who run the streets and go clubbing, which I ain't bashing that, but they ain't taking care of they house, and you're taking advice from them. When over on this side, my mom, who was in church, and I was trying to bring the Bible into the home and let her know that the Bible was based on marriage.
right.
So we can't have a successful marriage if you're gonna listen to your girlfriends out in the street. So for me, it was just me younger, just making poor decisions, and it just happened to be one of them things, that I end up with the lady. And don't get me wrong, at one time I did love her, but when things begin to get toxic, I just focus on my kids and focus on my goals, and I just, told her it's
You
best
just
if we just
roll with
part
the
ways.
punches.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Danny, let me ask you a question. Then we're gonna go to Jamal. Then I'm gonna bring in Try God. I see you up in there. I see you anxiously waiting to get up in there. But Danny, let me ask you a question. Do you think let's just say after you had your children, right? Had the situation begun to be toxic, do you feel, and I know it's a hypothetical because it's not reality for you, but if it was, do you think you will be able to have the strength to leave that situation and introduce your children to a whole nother life that they've never known, a life to where they mother and father were not together? And even though statistics show that people that come from traditionally a two-parent household tend to do better in life, would you be willing to keep the peace, or for the sake of your children, would you stay in a toxic situation, or would you be willing to say, you know what, I can't do this, I got to get up out of here?
It would depend on what type of toxicity it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if that person is willing to maybe try counseling and even address the issue,
Okay,
I being married is not something that you can answer on your own.
for sure.
It's something that you feel that you got to express to that person and see if that person agree. And you got to give that person a chance to move on that.
For sure,
Um,
for sure.
and if he
Jamal.
is
Oh, I'm
willing
sorry, go ahead.
to go, then I would definitely give it a try. But if not, I would stay until I couldn't endure it anymore. I still wouldn't just leave immediately. Uh, I'm not that type of person that move on emotion.
Okay.
Um, I can't. I'm not a single person. If it was just me, I could move on emotion and do what I want. But when it comes to my children, I gotta think of their stability. I can't. That's not something that you can do immediate. You know.
Right. For sure. Now, Jamal, since you don't have children, neither do I'm going to come at you a little different. Now, let's just say this, Jamal, do you believe, well, let me ask you this. Would you be willing to date a woman with a child? Number one.
I have twice.
Uh-huh.
Currently, I not ready to take that step at the moment. Maybe when I
Now,
get a little more older, a little more mature, yeah, but not right now.
how old are you, sir?
28, turning 29.
Okay, you're 28, 29, about to be 29. Now, these women that you dated with kids, how many kids did they have?
First one had two, and the second
Jesus.
one had one.
One. Okay, well, to the people that know me, they know I have a zero kid limit. I don't do women with kids at all. But, and that's not a knock to them. That's just my preference. Now, with that being said, what was it? Oh, we got another person in the queue. What was it about the women with with the children that didn't work out? What was this person toxic, and was she toxic towards her children? What was it that deterred you away from that situation?
I would say I was the one that made the situation more toxic than what it
Oh,
was supposed to be honest.
okay.
And
How
to
did you
build
do
it,
that?
to go into it, no, basically, I ended up cheating.
Oh,
Yeah.
now was it because of the children, or it was
Right.
just It
Nope.
was just because some other stuff.
It was just because of other stuff. It nothing to do with the kids. Nothing to do with the
Okay,
kids.
okay. So it's just pretty much you cheated and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Okay, did she find out or did you tell her?
I ended up telling her when she asked me.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
when the situation got too hot, I told her, listen, I need you to step away from this, please. Care
What if
about
she
you.
said I want to work it out?
I would tell her that you have to go because this is not going to go the way you want it to. I know where my mind and heart was going at the time.
Mm.
So it was like, I don't want to hurt you any more than I already have.
It sounded like you had a lot of player left in you, like that Darnell Jones song. You had a lot of lust inside of you.
Yeah.
Is that was the case?
Yeah, you can say that. I mean, well, old flames,
Okay.
they never truly die out.
Okay. Okay. Well, Jamal, ladies and gentlemen,
I can
if you
respect
got a
this
kid,
honesty though.
if you got a child and Jamal come your way, he might just cheat on you because he got a lot of lust inside of him right now.
Oh no,
And
I won't. Oh, don't do that to
Joanna,
me,
we're gonna
brother.
get to you. We're gonna get to you too, Joanna. We're gonna bring you in. Try God.
What's
What's
up, bro?
cracking, player?
What's up, bro? What's up? What's up?
Man, I know you got a lot to say about this nigga. This nigga got a gang of kids, bruh. No.
Gang of kids, bro. Come on, man. Don't do that to me. Don't do
I'm
that
just
to me. You
playing.
got motherfucking.
I'll just mess around. Y'all niggas gonna think he got about 8 kids out
Oh
here.
no, no, that's right. I
But
don't, man. I don't have a gang of kids, man.
man, but go ahead and introduce yourself, bro. Let the people know about you and everything like that.
Well, I'm Try Guy London, man. I like to share my philosophies on like life and relationships and past experiences that I've went through and all my endeavors and stuff like that. I have a lot of like I guess kind of like life perspective about things. Like kind of like I sit back and reflect on a lot of things and I just go ahead and share with the whole world.
Man, you know that he a think deeper, a deep thinker. He got the pink and all that stuff, purplish in the background and stuff.
Oh
Shoot,
yeah.
no wonder why this nigga got kids, bruh. But anyway, so I'm gonna ask you like I asked the rest of the people on the panel. Do you feel like a lot of people stay in a relationship longer than they should because they have kids, even if the situation is toxic? And
Oh,
Joanna, I'm coming to you next.
oh, most definitely, man. I've been in that situation, man. I know you saying like, oh yeah, you got a bunch of kids, but no, it's I only got 3 kids, man, and two of them biological.
Mhm.
I adopted my third one. Now the
Yeah.
thing is like when I was with my kid's mother back in the day, we had kids at a very young age. I was 17, so I didn't know really what was really going on. You know what I mean? I just knew that I had to stay back and be responsible. So after a while, like you hear the stories about people growing up being together for long periods of time, and I never wanted to be a statistic where it's just like I'm a baby daddy, I'm just somebody that just I had kids with this person, because I see that all around my environment, my ancestors and elders and stuff like that. So I see that and I didn't want to be that, but so it was like a lot of trying to make it work for the wrong reasons, to be honest with you. It's because didn't want to be like everybody else. And I mean, yeah, granted, I did love her. We had good history or whatever, but we were still kids. We just didn't know too much. You know what I mean? So then the relationship, took a very bad turn. You know what I mean? Because it was just she done some stuff and then it kind of provoked me to do some things. So it kind of like that's what it was like, tit for tat, a lot of things, and it just wasn't the right
I
thing
don't
because
know if
the
that's
whole
my
the whole
internet.
the whole thing is when they say it's cheaper to keep her, and honestly it is, but it's still a headache too also, because a lot of cats will stay with their lady because, man, I don't want to pay the child support, I don't want to pay this, because they will bite you in your ass. But
I'm
it's
sorry.
less problems, but it's more of a mental issue strain on both of you guys staying together when you guys are not really made for each other or really want to work it out because you don't even know each other. You
Now
feel
you
me?
said
So
you said you loved her, right? So it
yeah.
wasn't a fling. It wasn't a fling. Y'all was Y'all was
No,
together in
yeah,
a relationship.
no,
Oh,
no, no. I loved her
right,
on God. I did. So
for sure.
it wasn't like no fling, no shit like that. No, it was real.
All right, cool. Let me get to the next person, Miss Joanna. Thank you for joining us. I hope I'm saying your name right, Joanna Outlaw.
Johanna.
Johanna, excuse me, I apologize.
No
But
problem. It gets
Johanna,
chopped up like a salad. I'm used to it.
okay, Johanna, do I know you?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So you just chimed in. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming on and giving your output. Can you let the people a little bit know about yourself or whatever? Go ahead.
Johanna Outlaw, live in North Carolina, and I was invited to the podcast. I don't know what else I need to share in terms
Oh
of.
no, you don't have to share nothing else. But I'm
Okay.
just gonna ask you the question. Do you feel like people do stay in toxic relationships and situations just because they have children?
Ooh. It's possible because you may be thinking because of the benefits of the kids that you should stay together so the kids could have somewhat of a stable yet toxic foundation. Now
Absolutely.
you mentioned toxic relationships, and there's an article that somebody posted on Facebook about high successful women being in toxic relationships, and I swear that article spoke about my last two relationships because I feel that I attract toxic men or men who are still trying to figure out their lives and they're over the age of 40.
Oh wow.
So that's just, yeah. And a lot, when I shared the article, a lot of women chimed in and they felt the same way that we tend, for some reason, not necessarily toxic men, but those who are, what's the word I'm looking for? Coddled, maybe mama's boys. They tend to get
Mm.
drawn to women who have it together because they feel like we can take care of them.
10 toes down.
Yeah.
Johanna 10 toes down with it. Mama's boys, toxic. They want the women who got it together. Go
Yeah.
ahead, let them have it. Get it off your chest.
Yeah. I remember my one ex-boyfriend, my brother talked to him on the phone and he was like, call me later. And when I called him later, he was like, that's not a good look. He said that dude found a gold mine when he found you. That's not a good look. And get your house key back.
Get your house key back. You let them move in.
Something like that.
All right. She had a situationship, ladies and gentlemen. Um, well, you know what? You kind of took it in a different direction, but I'm
I
glad
know
you
you said
did.
toxic and you that was a trigger.
But I'm glad you did though, because that leads me to my next questions for the panel. Is it harder to date? Because I know, well, Jamal, I don't know you personally, and Johanna, I don't know you personally, but from what you say, he hit a gold mine. So I'm going to assume that you do well for yourself. And I know everybody on this panel does pretty well for themselves. So is it harder to prevent toxic situations being a person that does do quite well for themselves? Is it harder to prevent that? For example, somebody who is doing well financially as in their profession, they're doing well. Is it hard to find a partner who is accustomed to be with them, the right partner? Is it hard to sort out through all the bullshit, if you will? Danielle, I'm gonna start with you. Well, you're married. Now I can skip you. You already married. Uh, Ted, Ted, I'm gonna go to you. Ted, is it harder to find a mate, or is it harder to find somebody being? I know that personally, you are a successful businessman who does do well for himself. Is it harder to find somebody who's not just trying to be a leech? Go ahead and take it away.
Oh, your
Oh,
mic, man. Your mic not on.
Ted, you might have to unmute yourself. I don't
Yeah,
have you
yeah.
mute.
You there?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. Because I have a tendency to drop to attractive women. Because usually when I meet somebody, the first thing they say is either one or two things. Oh, you a truck driver, you got bank, or oh, you're a truck driver, you a hoe. So
Hey, yo, I get that same shit all the time, man. I
right,
swear
so
to God, dog.
it's it's hard to attract a lot of successful women because most like in the past when I was dating, most women that was around my age, they're financially stable, and a lot of them want a man at home at night. So they want a man there because they're stable and they don't want their man to be out on the road. I always attract the ones that's either they out for the money or they want to know what you can do for them.
How
It
she
ain't
look
so
though?
much, huh?
How they be looking? Are they beautiful?
Oh, I mean, they decent,
Because if they
they
walking around looking like Grimace, I mean, then you really have no say in the matter at all. But you willing to put up with
yeah.
more from a beautiful woman than you would so a mud duck.
Oh, of course, always, yeah, yeah. I mean, I always tell them, hey, if they ugly when the lights go out, we both in the dark. So
Oh boy, no. All
hey,
right, Jamal, Jamal. Are you? I'm presuming that you're a single young man, correct?
Yes.
So is it? I don't know what you do, but is it harder to? Would you say is it harder to date women, um, quality women? I would say.
Well, there's a question of that. What exactly are quality women?
Okay, well, let's break it down. I'm glad you said that. Real quick, give us a real quick description of what a quality woman is to you. And I will tell you all what a quality woman is to me, and we can break it down. Danny, I gotta find some way to get you up in here. You married, baby. So this is I
I'm
mean,
enjoying listening to y'all. Go ahead.
all right. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jamal. What's a quality woman?
Okay, to me, a quality woman would be someone I don't have to take care of, but someone I would want to take care of, you know? Like, she has
Okay.
her own money. She doesn't ask me for anything, but I also never mind helping her. She's not leeching on me. We're able to talk as adults. We're not screaming at each other. Now, arguments are going to happen in any type of relationship.
Okay.
But, see, and moral quality woman, she has good moral standards. And once again, what are good moral standards to me? You are respectful, you have manners, you are teachable.
All right. All right. London, what's a good quality woman to you? And then I'm gonna come to
I
Johanna,
know
and I'm gonna go back to Teddy.
I know we covered this last time, kind of covered this last episode. Um, you know, a person that got, their morals right, obviously head on their shoulder. Someone just like you said, like somebody you could teach and learn from. You know what I'm saying? Like you never want to be with somebody that you just can't get a lesson from to improve your life and how you think and uh b- take you up to the next level. Someone that's like really thorough and really honest, like really accepts honesty and appreciate honesty, back and forth, vice versa. Someone that really knows what they want and at the same time knows what they don't want. I mean, that sounds really, really, really simple, but at the end of the day, it's big in a lot of situations because they don't know. Like people just kind of like moving around in life. They just kind of like, I'm here, I'm here. You feel me? So kind of they have some roots to themselves. Someone I can really connect to. Uh, and got and not leeching off and like just kind of got it together, but they don't have to be, you know, rich or anything like, or they got it going on where they sustaining their own self and their whole life. You know what I mean? Their kids, they're taking care of somebody really good with their kids. Cause like you can have all that, but if they terrible with their kids and they pawning off their kids with somebody else, if they have kids,
Do you care if she has kids or not?
obviously I don't, because I've been with women. I've been with women with kids, and I've been with wonderful women with kids. So I don't.
And for the record, ladies and gentlemen, CJ does not think you're a bad woman just because you have children. I just don't date women with children. But that's me. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, yeah. So I date women with kids. I have dated women with kids.
What's your limit? What's the kid limit?
What's the kid limit? I, I don't. I never thought about a limit, to be honest, man. I think
That's
it's
bullshit.
just
You know you got a
no,
limit.
no. Seriously, I never. I mean, I dated women with 3 kids. I mean, that's the most I think I've dated somebody with 3 kids. That's it. But eh, I never was like, oh, you got 6, 5, 5 and 6 kids. I don't know. I mean, I never really truly thought about that.
You would date a
I
woman with 5 kids?
What I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't think,
Okay.
I honestly don't know, because I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to say, okay, yeah, this woman could be my queen. This woman could be really made for me, made some mistakes with her last husband, whatever the case may be. And she got 5 kids, bro. And I don't want to like say, oh, well, you got 5 kids and block my blessings. You feel me? So it's kind of like you got to really get to know a person first before trying to judge them off their past decisions, what they had before, before they, because they had a life before you, bro. So if they have 5 kids with their husband before you, then, and you come along and really elevate her and she elevates you, then,
well, that's different though. If a woman had 5 children with the same man, I think they're looked at a little bit more differently with a woman who had 5 children by 8 different dudes. So I mean,
8 different dudes.
I really think
math don't match up, bro.
So I'm just saying, but I appreciate that, Miss Johanna Outlaw. To you, what is a quality man, and would you date a man with children? Since we brought that up,
and probably about what year we in 2021, probably way back early 20s. I had a rule of thumb: I didn't date men with kids. That was a rule. If you told me you had kids, I would just say it's nice meeting you. And I'll tell you why I felt that way. Because regardless if he was still with the mother of his children, I always felt that there would be a connection because of the child. And so that was just my rule for dating. And then my best friend was like, well, what if somebody say they don't want to date you because of XYZ? So I eventually bent on that rule, because friends of mine were telling me, well, you get long in the tooth and you're not going to really run into men without any kids, which is pretty normal because most men over the age of 40 will have at least 2 kids. And recently I've actually run into men over the age of 45 who have no kids. And I'm like, you like a unicorn. I don't even know how that's even possible.
What the
freedom? And I'm glad you said it. Do you think something is wrong? Okay, if a man is a certain age and does not have any children, do you think something is wrong with him? Or do you just think that, okay, well, that's nice, he's a guy with no kids, or whatever the case may be?
I don't think anything's wrong with him. It's just rare to find a man over the age of 40 or 45 that has no kids. It's kind of shocking. But then I get the same thing because I'm 45 and I have no kids. And I get the same thing. People say, how do you not have kids? And then people assume I made a decision not to have kids. And I guess maybe I did have a decision not to have kids. But I at this point, I would date a man who has kids because that's just what's out there. And it's really about the person that you're dating. It's not really about their kids. I mean, that's something that comes way, way down the line after you've established a more secure relationship. But I will say there was one guy I met. Oh, this is like, I can't remember how many years ago. And he told me he had 5 kids. And we had a great conversation. And I remember telling a friend of mine, and I was like, yeah, I met this guy. We had a great conversation, and he has 5 kids. And she said, did you say 5 kids?
He had a singing group on his hands.
Yeah, pretty much. So.
Okay. Ted, you messing with a woman with kids or not?
It depends on the situation. It depends on the woman, because a woman can have 5 kids and they can be great, and a woman can have 1 kid and they can be the kid from hell. So you got to assess the situation.
Yeah, definitely been in that situation too.
So yeah, it just depends. Now it's a package deal, so she got to be a quality woman herself. So I just can't take somebody that don't, it's not a quality woman, but her kid is great. So if she got a great kid and she's a quality woman, and it's somebody that is my helper and they become an asset to me, and we can grow and build an empire together, great. I have no problem dating a woman with kids.
Okay. All right. Well, screw it. I'll tell y'all why I don't mess with women with kids. I'll get to it. It is what it is. So the reason, and let me say this, I've dated a woman with a child before. Okay. And the situation, it was a little janky. I'm not gonna lie to you. From my experiences and from other people I know experiences, and I know all experiences are not the same. But the reason I don't date women with kids is because the way I move in my life, it would not be feasible for me to even deal with a woman with a child at this point in my life. I don't have time for you to find a babysitter. I don't have time, and I'm not gonna pay for a babysitter if I'm just dating you. I know a lot of women say, "Well, I've had dudes to pay for the babysitter." No, 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 no. I'm not doing that.
So, nah, fam.
No, I'm not doing that. I like to leave when I want. I like to leave when I want to leave. I like to do what I want to do when I want to do it. So it just would not be practical in my life at this point for me to even entertain a woman with a child. Not saying that, well, women with children are bad people. They are not. I know plenty of good people who have a lot of children, a lot of them, and a lot of different baby daddies. Don't change the fact that they, are good people or not, but it's just not for me. And I think that will eventually turn into a toxic situation because eventually I'm going to say that, you know what, Lil Ray Ray, Mook Mook, Nook, Dre, they all cool, but I'm not taking all these cats to Disney World. I'm just not doing it. I'm not taking his kids on a trip. I'm not doing it. And then it comes to the fact that, okay, well, can I discipline the kid? Well, because see, I'm looking at it like if I had a child, I wouldn't want no other man disciplining my kid. Don't put your hand on my kid, bruh, because it's a problem. But I cannot expect for the mother of a child that I had, mother of a child that I had, and if she's married to a dude, not to discipline my child if they are living in the same household. Then on top of that, I'm not there 24/7. And I'm not saying all people are creeps. I'm not saying all people are lunatics or anything like that. But I'm not finna leave my child. If I had kids, I'm not finna leave my child with no other dude. I don't got time.
Right.
The way this situation, the way this world is set up right now, it just really would not be feasible for me to date a woman with a child. I have in the past, and no thanks. No thanks.
And,
But
and, and you and you know what? I'm sorry, not to cut you off,
no,
but
you could go ahead.
that was part of the reason why at that time I stayed in the relationship because my daughter, she's growing up, she's developing. I'm not finna have no dude come up here and be around my daughter.
For sure.
So I stayed in the relationship just to protect her because just because your ex is dating a dude don't mean he ain't looking at your daughter sideways. So
Mm,
it was a lot of different variables that I consider, when it came to my kids and why I put up with the toxic situation. Because I can always leave the house and step away from the house, just to get a peace of mind, whether I went to work or went to a friend's house or went for a walk in the park. But I refuse to step away from my kids.
okay. Let me read some of these comments. Frank said 2 or more kids from one dude is not a problem for me. If I had the jelly bean jar it. I think he just said if I had to stick my hand in the jelly bean jar or whatever. All right. Then he also said 2 different women asked me if I could pay for a babysitter so we could go out. These B words, we're gonna say batches because I'm trying to control trying not to cuss for the algorithm. He said these batches didn't even know how to call their cousin or their sister or nothing. I was disgusted.
Hmm.
Oh boy. Didi said, I don't date men with children because I would never be the first priority. Ooh, good point. Good
Yeah,
point.
that is a
Now,
good point.
good point. So let me ask you, Miss Jamal. Jamal, you've dated 2 women with children. So, Jamal, do you feel like you were a priority in that woman's life, or was it a little bit more difficult to compete for her time because she did have 2 other obligations before you? Jamal, take it away.
I completely understood because she had kids. They weren't gonna come before me. I did have any issue with that. I was as active as I could be with them when I was around them. You know what I mean? I was just a guy just laying back and just let her like just be a mom. Like, no, I was active with their kids while I was, with them.
Okay, got you, got you. Danny, have you dated before you had your children? Did you
Mhm.
date men with children?
Lamar has a son.
Oh, that's right, he do. So you did. Okay, all right.
Mhm.
So let me ask you: was it in the beginning of y'all relationship, or even relationships prior to him? Was it difficult for you to be number one in that man's life?
Well, in previous relationships, it didn't matter what I was in your life because I was number one when I was around you because I was the weekend. I wasn't around you all the time. I was around
Oh,
you when it was time to hang out, and then don't bother me. Um, But when I
So you didn't
met,
necessarily care about being number one all the time. Just you wanted your attention when you were there.
yeah, and with Lamont, I mean, from the day that I met him, I've seen this man every day since the day I met him.
Hmm.
Um, so when I met him, his son was there. I knew he had a child, but he put in the time and effort to make sure he gave me attention. We spent about a month every day with each other before I even met his family officially.
Hmm.
So no, it wasn't a problem because then even once I got around his family, we just all sat together. So we just all shared the time. So he got a big family, so they know how to manage family time. I come from a small family, so
Okay. Johanna, Miss Johanna Outlaw. That sounds like a superhero. Johanna, do you find that with dating a man with a child, do you think you will be the number one priority? Do you want to be the number one priority? Does it matter if you're the number one priority in that man's life?
I would want to be the priority, but I would know that a man with a child or children, I would not be the priority. And for example, I was seeing a guy and he was, I guess, had his daughter on a part-time basis, and then for whatever reason, he ended up with full custody of his daughter. And let
Wow.
me know that his life was getting ready to change. And
Must have
once
been a
he told me
trash mom.
that, yeah, his life was getting ready to change, and I said, you know what, your daughter is your priority. Why don't we just remain friends? And he got really offended by it. And I was seeing the fact that things were going to change for him, for where he was just getting her maybe like every other weekend. He was about to have her full time.
Mm.
And I don't think he saw the change it was going to make. And then even after I made that statement, he actually came back and was like, "You're right. My life has changed," which I knew it would, because now she is your priority because she's living with you full time. So you got to figure out your whole housing situation and daycare and stuff like that. So with that, especially if and she was a younger age, so of course younger age kids, they're going to be the priority. And if we are seriously dating, I would want to be the priority. But I know with you having kids, you're going to have to figure out the balance of that. Who's going to be, and I would just assume your kids would be the priority because they are your kids. So,
I want, and thank you for that. I appreciate that. I would love if you're watching out there, any single moms, baby mamas, Thadianas, whatever. If y'all are watching, I would love for y'all to chime into the show. Because I would like to get y'all views on being a woman who's out here in the streets with kids and trying to date and all that good stuff. So if y'all watching, don't be scared. We're not gonna attack you. We're not gonna come for you. We just want your story and your perspective. Let me go ahead and go on to Teddy. Teddy, do you feel like if you date a woman with kids, do you want to be the number one? Do you want to be her priority? First of all, before we even get to the kid part, do you want to be that priority, that number one priority to that woman? You the king, you working hard. Do you want to be number one? And second of all, if she does have children, do you do you feel like you ever will be number one in that woman's life?
Well, when I met my ex, she actually had a daughter,
Oh, okay,
and
okay.
we kind of took a different approach. I I told her, we basically agreed to put the kids first.
Hmm.
I want the kids to have what they need growing up, as far as school clothes, um, whatever they need growing up. We had put the kids first, but when we came time for our time, when we had somewhat of a sensible relationship, we used to drop the kids off at her grandma's house, and we'd go away to the hotel for the weekend.
Okay.
So we had our time. Even when I was driving the truck, she came on the road with me, and we having her on the truck with me at the time. That was me and her time. I was working. She wasn't at home around the kids, so we made it work.
You went mute. We can't hear you. Yeah, you went mute.
It wasn't that I had to be the priority. It was just one of those situations where we did what we did to try to make everybody feel important.
Got you. Got you. Jamal, would you ever date another woman with a child ever again?
Currently, no. because there's a lot of things I gotta work on myself first. But in the future, I'll be more open to it.
Okay. Got you. All right. Well, I mean, like I said, it's somebody for everybody. It's definitely somebody for everybody. Is there anything else anybody would like to say in terms of dating, the dating situation? Matter of fact, you know what? Since we do have a single woman with no kids on the line right now, Miss Johanna, unless you had something to say, London.
Oh no, it's just a couple things I wanted to say about the priority standpoint.
Go ahead.
Uh,
Go ahead. Then I get to Johanna. I ask her
party
a question.
the priority of you and the kids is going to change in different stages of the relationship. So like let's say like I meet somebody and they got kids, I got kids too. So we have a neutral understanding like, hey, look, we got to take care of these kids first. Like I'm not going to give you if you short on rent money and my kids need backpacks for school, I'm gonna give you rent money to save you. Nah, like it's you got to make sure your kid's right. Now, after that stage of dating, when y'all married, it's a different story. When y'all married, it's like, yo, that's the queen, that's the king of the house. It's just like, I got to attend to my man needs. I got to attend to what my woman needs. Yes, I'm not neglecting my kids, but at the end of the day, who's the head of the household? Yo, the man's. But that doesn't mean take from the kid's mouth to feed the father. Not that doesn't mean that. What it means is just the mindset of how everything works. You understand? Like to make sure that the man has what he needs in the household. If y'all married, that's the priority standard. So it's like make sure he got what he needs to sustain and go to work and take care of us at the end of the day. But then also make sure the kids have. But you never want to put it in a point where it's like, oh, who do I feed? Of course, the kids. You feel me? But it's you can't just sit there. It's certain things, little things that's okay. This is more priority to the kids, and this is more priority to the man. You feel me? It's not just a
Not across the
whole.
board. It depends
Yeah, it's
on what
not
the
across the board.
situation is.
So it's not just like, oh, he get first, and then they gonna get the scraps. Nah, it
Right.
ain't happen like that. Nah. So you can't be just one. Just one lane of it. You have to open up to all spectrums of different situations in a relationship and different scales of the relationship, whether y'all married together as just dating couple or whatever the case may be. So that's my thing. Some people kind of looking at it like, well, do you put your kids first or your man first? You got to look at it. What is the situation? You feel me? And where y'all at?
So it's not just black and white.
It's definitely
Oh,
not just
yeah.
black and white. No.
Right. It can't
Rainbow.
just be black and white. So let me ask y'all. Let me ask you. The mother of your child, she gets married. And I know I know like you got teenagers, but let's just say they were little kids. Is that man allowed to discipline your children?
Look, man, my thing is
That nigga got mad at me. You asking that shit.
no. I'm very
just messing
open
with
minded. I'm
messing with you.
yeah, I'm very open minded. Look, I'll tell you this, man. Like you got to know where that man is from, where he coming from, and his mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like when you spend so many years with somebody's kid, you kind of understand. And the father, you got to like y'all got to have that talk. Like, look, little man ain't doing what he doing. Doing what he's supposed to be doing. So look, what we can do about this? And I come to him and be like, look, I know a little nigga bad. Okay. So if you're gonna have to tap his ass, look, my thing is, dog, like if you're gonna tap
I
his
like
ass,
that to go to the father and give permission. I like that.
like
That is awesome.
if you're gonna tap his ass, like tap his ass on some like he 5, okay, he ain't you know what I'm saying, a light tapping, not something that he gonna laugh at you about, but kind of like give him a little pat, but not on some like I'm about to hurt him and put him in the hospital. You feel me? So you gotta feel the gauges of everything and talk to the person, the man or the woman in a different case. So in my case, man. So it's like, yo, this is what we gonna do, bro. And it's just like that. You just gotta be grown about the whole situation. You just can't just like, oh, I'm just gonna hit his kid or I'm not gonna hit his kid, because to be honest with you, kids can do some shit that I'm sorry to cuss. Kids can do some things that behind your back and stuff like that, or they don't want to listen because oh, you might not my daddy, or you not my mom, or whatever the case may be. You got to set them in because just like they say, it takes a village to raise a kid. You feel me? So if like I tell you this. In the neighborhood I used to grow up with, we had a lot of old ladies, a lot of old men in down the street from us. If we was doing something bad, they was going, do whatever they had to do to discipline us, because like, no, it have to be set where no matter where you go, you got to do the right thing. It don't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm at the crib, I'm only going to be good at my mama house, on my daddy house. Like I got to be good everywhere. And that sets that law inside them. Like, yo, you going to be tapped every time you get, out of hand. You feel me?
Okay.
So that's it.
I can respect that. I could definitely respect that. And I think that's honorable if somebody go to you as a man and y'all had that conversation, had that communication that, when a kid act up, what we finna do? Let me get to some of these. Frank says, when I play around with, oh God, he said, when I play around with Tinder or Facebook dating app, every time I take my time to read the profiles of girls who match up with me, whenever I see something I like, he says, I have 2 kids and they are my world and top of my priority. And I put them first over anything. I immediately unmatch. All right. Well, I can't be mad at that. Samori Sykes says, what's going on, brothers? Shout out to you. Dee says, I also don't get attached to people's children anymore because once they get mad, they take them away. That's another.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah,
that's a good point. Because, I can't even imagine. Like, because when I dated the woman that I was dating with the child, like I really didn't have. I mean, she was cool. The little girl was fine. Like I didn't have no issues with her, but she was a bad little girl. But I didn't really build or develop a relationship with her. So I mean, I guess I don't know what that's like, but I can't speak for anybody else. Oh, shout out to Young O. Young O is in the building. Shout out to Young O.
What up, Young O?
But I can't speak for nobody else. But what is that like? Dealing with somebody and you building up an attachment to their child and everything like that, and they possibly take them away. I mean, I don't know if you've been in that situation, Orlando, or I mean, I'm sorry, London, or Danny, but have y'all been in that situation before where y'all built up attachment to somebody's child and then when it didn't work, boom, everything goes away, including the kid?
I had dated a guy, and the girl was older because the man was older, and
you like them AARP dudes, huh?
I do, because I mean, they just more stable and intelligent, aware of their emotions, and not afraid to express those emotions.
Yeah,
but she didn't have a mother. Her mother had died when she was young, and it took a minute for her to even take liking to me because she was like a daddy's girl. And so once she did take a liking to me and he and I didn't work out, I did feel bad because I felt like, oh my gosh, she looked up to me now. Like if she wanted to reach out to me, like I would answer her. And he was like, well, I would prefer if you didn't talk to my daughter. And I was like, I was hurt because I was like, I wouldn't ever tell her to do something wrong, but I understood because I come from a mother who felt the same. If she broke up with you, it's no more communication for you with my children.
For sure. Jamal, were you attached to the women's kids that you were dating?
Honestly, yes, especially my ex-girlfriend recently. We was very attached together, and I loved her kid as one of my own. And when the relationship fell through, like it hurt. It really did. That's actually one of the reasons why I'm not willing to do anything right now because I'm not able to have that attachment at the moment.
Got you. London, have you been attached to somebody's kid before and it didn't work and took the kid away and you were messed up about it? Does that happen to you?
Yeah, I've been in that situation, but kind of on a light situation. It wasn't like really heavy though. Yeah, I think we came to an agreement about it. It wasn't really like it wasn't like I was like sitting in my bedroom crying or something like that. But what it was just I had an understanding. I think what it was we was both grown. We understood the whole situation. It's like, but if you have a connection with a child, it's up to it's definitely up to the parent to kind of be like, yo, I don't mind you coming in and helping us out or talking to him or her or whatever it is. So, the whole situation. But yeah, I've been in that situation, but not like most people think. It's like the kid was cool, but it's not like we were just like inseparable. You feel me? So I don't know. I got my losses in my whole life, but it kind of played out pretty smooth, to be honest with you.
All right. Dee Dee says when you marry, it don't change. She also said, nope, keep the drama, let the parents handle it. I'm thinking that's when she was talking about disciplining the children. She said, I helped raise 2 girls. Soon as the relationship ended, the first thing, don't contact my kids because they knew it was the only way to hurt me. Yeah. Yeah. That's I'm assuming that's never fun. That's never fun.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not a kid person.
A lot of people come in a relationship kind of standoffish when you have kids also too, because they like, man, I don't know. Because they come in the relationship with a little doubt. They're like, I don't know how long this gonna go or whatever. And then if I get attached to them, I mean, that's overthinking and having like, doubts about the relationship. So you kind of be like, I don't know if I'm gonna, when I stick with these kids and if we separate, could I see him? You know what I mean? It's just so much stuff like that if you going into a relationship like that. But some people are just not kids. Like, they're not kid people. Like, they like kids, but it's not like, oh, I just adore them and I'm just all over. You know what I mean? Some people just kind of cool.
I don't even like kids. Like, I don't.
Yeah, it's like they exist. They cool. We all cool. We all
right.
functioning. Yeah. You know what I mean? So okay,
right. Yeah. So I wanted to bring it back to the potential toxicity of the situation because Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, she said kids do love me for some reason. Like, I don't know, like little kids run up to me all
Uncle
the time.
Uncle CJ,
like a big teddy bear.
I know, like, and I think that's what it is. And like, I'll be like, bruh, go on, man. like let me be. And kids love me. I don't know why.
Bro, you the funny uncle. That's who you remind me of, a funny uncle, bro.
Like, I don't know why, but I want to take it back to the toxicity part because I was hearing a little bit about the Meghan Markle Prince Harry situation, and they did an interview with Oprah, and pretty much in a nutshell, they were talking about some of the challenges they faced once Prince Harry got her pregnant. The Queen took away his him being a prince. They took away all the things that came with him being a part of royalty and everything like that. So he lost pretty much everything. He was on his own.
After
he married her and got her pregnant, he lost pretty much everything because they were worried about how the baby was going to look, how dark the baby was going to be, because she is a mixed race. Now, let me ask you a question, and that's originally what got me going to the topic. Now, this man, and he did it on his own free will. So I'm going to ask y'all, this man had everything to lose by getting involved with this woman. Mm-hmm. And with him getting involved with her, he lost everything as of right now.
But did he know he was going to lose his royalty?
I'm sure he did.
I'm sure
he was royalty. These rules are set in stone.
And don't give and I'm not caping for him because I don't like him either, because I'm not gonna let it pass. I'm not giving him a pass for all the fugazi stuff he's done in the past.
I'm not really familiar with with him too much.
That's cool. I'm gonna break it down. But I'm not cool with the blackface and the swastika he wore on the costume. So I ain't all the black girl magic, all that with him. And no, I ain't co-signing that. But anyway, I was using that as an example because do you think him knowing going into that situation he would lose everything? And I want to give that to y'all. If you were in a situation to where you had something as big as royalty or something that's really to lose, would you risk losing everything that you have, not necessarily built because he was born into that, but would you risk losing everything that you have from dating somebody that you really care about?
I think from his standpoint is different because his mother is Princess Diana.
Right.
His mother divorced Prince Charles. And
right.
The saying is from me growing up is that they killed her.
Allegedly.
And that's what's being said. They are the same age around as me, so I'm sure that's how they have heard, and they have more access and I think growing up with the mother, she went against the grain, even raising them because they're not supposed to show emotion, and she was totally against that. You got pictures of her loving her kids, and now it's not. That's not something that they do. That is
Allegedly,
against their rules.
allegedly, she was messing with a brother. Allegedly, that's the rumor. She was
I
messing with
mean, that's what
some
I'm saying.
Jamaican dude.
He come from breaking rules and being free, even though they come from having this supposed to be title in this way. He didn't want that, and then he the second child anyway. So it's
He wasn't
like,
gonna be king nowhere unless something happened to
yeah.
his
So it's
brother
like,
and his
he like
brother's child.
so he was the wild child. He had this red hair. I mean, so I don't think that he cared about losing all that because he was like, I'm not gonna cling to this. I'm gonna cling to my woman because if I let my woman go, then what could happen to her? The same thing could happen to me, and I'm not about to have that happen to my child.
Right. And I think they know, they're fully aware of what potentially could happen. That's why when I first saw that, I didn't really care, but I was just like, boy, you better check them brakes. You better check them brakes
Right.
because, like, I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one, but she was talking about how she still had to curtsy in front of the queen and everything like that, and doing all kind of stuff she thought she didn't have to do because she was marrying into the royal family. So it was kind of almost like she got her nigga wake up call as well, because I don't know if she came in with the mentality that, oh, okay, I'm marrying a prince, that they're gonna accept me. It would be hard for me to really believe that she thought that she would get some kind of special treatment just because she's with the prince. I mean, she would I don't know, but I'm assuming some people do actually think like that. How do y'all feel? You just told me how you feel about that. London, how do you feel about that situation? Do you think it would be worth, if it was a girl that you was really feeling and really love, would you be willing to lose a lot of the things that you have coming your way just because of this woman?
I never been a real simp like that. I mean, I hate to call him a simp.
Is he a simp though?
I
No.
look. I don't know.
That's
Like,
his wife.
I don't know the situation. I don't
That's his
know
wife. That's his
everything.
situation.
That's his wife or whatever. But you asking me as if like I met some woman and I'm about to lose my whole company over this woman. Now, that sounds like some stuff that would be in a Disney movie where I'm about to lose everything and all for love. Now, that sounds good. That sounds good, like cool, but like logical, I don't know.
Well, y'all know how I love scenarios.
I don't know,
Y'all
man.
know how I love scenarios. And
I don't know. I can't really
ladies and
speak on
gentlemen,
this situation because, to be honest with you, I don't know the whole details. I don't know
okay, all right.
everything.
I'm gonna give you a scenario as soon as I go to Jamal. Jamal, what do you think about the whole Prince Harry, Meghan Markle thing? Are you up to date, or do you really care at all? And if you don't care, we can move on.
It's not that I don't care. I'm a little bit up to date on what's going on. On this situation, he went after love. And sometimes when you chase love, there is that risk of losing everything. He probably had no idea he was going to lose everything when it happened. And sometimes there's nothing wrong with going after your heart. That just means it's just you two against the world.
Right.
And
All
now
right.
you guys have to find the situation together. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, Jamal, you're new to the show, but for all those people who do watch the show, I like to do scenarios because it's fun and I enjoy it. So I'm gonna give y'all a scenario, but before I do that, I'm gonna go through the comments again. Frank says, I don't think I can date a girl that can't control their misbehaving kids if they are bad kids. I won't be the one to punish them or anything. There are boundaries involved. Didi said, I think he hates his family. With all those kids, he would never be king. Frank said there is some kind of integrity and willing to give up that lifestyle for love. All right. So we're not royalty. We're not a part of any royal family or nothing like that. So, well, in my house, I am this king and queen over here. But anyway, y'all got a good job. I'm talking about y'all making $1 million a year. Very good job. You real cool with the boss. Real cool with the boss. Y'all like this. You go over his house. Y'all go golfing. All that good stuff. I'm talking about this is something, whatever this career you're in, this is something you wanted to do your whole life.
I kind of know where this is going.
You have something you want to do your whole life. All right. So all of a sudden, just one day, out the blue, y'all on the golf course, You know, London, you see the boss's daughter.
Mm,
Fine. Fine as she could be.
mm,
Finest woman you ever seen in your life. No kids, smart, beautiful, feminine, everything you want in a woman. And my nigga, she feeling you.
mm.
Anything you want to do, she down for it. She down for it. Danny, same with you, but it's a guy. Same situation. So, and you too, Jamal. So she's like, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. But pops come over to you and say, that's my baby. Don't do it. I know she like you. And I know you like her. But don't do it. Because if you do it, I will take everything away from you. Your career, everything. And you'll be blackballed. This man is that powerful. This
Okay.
boss is that powerful. You'll be blackballed. You'll never work in this industry ever again. Now,
Okay.
mind you, something you work for your whole life. Are you willing to put that on the line and
Absolutely
lose
not.
everything?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm gonna tell you,
Absolutely not.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because how you telling me I have to listen to my impulse, my hormones, like, oh, she's bad and all this stuff.
But you love her.
And
You in love with her.
no, but you never said I love her. You know what I mean? Like you never said we was with each other. You just said she was bad. She
Let's just say
want me.
let's say y'all been dating on the low for like 2 months. Y'all been dating on the low for like 2 months. You love her. It's a situation. Your heart is involved.
Mhm.
The boss find out. Don't do it. You will lose everything. You'll be blackballed. You will never ever work in this field again. And he can do that.
Yo,
He got the
yo,
power to
coming.
do that.
I'm gonna tell you this. Coming from where I'm coming from nothing, bro. It won't even be a deal, bro. It wouldn't even be a deal. Like, all right, fuck it, we gonna slide. That's me and her. We gonna slide. And at the end of the day, if you was really smart and you knew you was gonna lose everything, you would set up situations and funds and bank accounts or whatever you could do to finance y'all love, basically. So, cause you about to lose everything. So you be like, babe, look, we about to lose everything. So what we need to do is put this in this, put this over here and that cause we about to lose everything. So we can't, you know what I'm saying? We can't live just like we gonna get it
The
tomorrow.
boss's daughter. She can leave you and go back to him anytime.
I mean, that's the risk you
And
take, but
and
that's
I'm
a risk you
okay.
take.
All
That's
right.
a risk you take when you get in your car to go to work. You can get in
Okay.
a car accident, money. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of
Respect.
the day, it's just like you got to look at it like, all right, the love is worth what I'm losing. But at the end of the day, if you play it smart, you won't lose everything. You will lose majority of it, but you won't lose everything. At least y'all, if y'all was doing this for a while and y'all was smart and y'all truly love each other, she will understand. Like, yo, all right, if I'm getting $100,000 this week, all right, we're gonna put 80 in this account. Okay. If you know what I'm saying, we play it like that, so we gonna have money when we get out of there. That's if you play it smooth. You know,
Okay. Danny, how you
Yeah.
feeling about that?
Uh, well, since I'm a female, I'm not about to just jump out there on emotion. I don't do that. I don't do that. I would hear what the boss had to say, and then
It's
I would
his
have to
mama.
go back to
His mama. His mama is your boss. She said,
whoever it is. It
You
doesn't
mess
matter.
if you mess with my son, if
It
you
doesn't
mess with
matter
him,
whoever it is. I would go back to the son, and I would let him know what happened, and I would say, "So, how do you feel about that? Like, do you want to be in a relationship or not? Because I'm not about to jump out there, and I don't even know how he feel about it." And if he feel like he willing to jump with me, then I would jump. And if not, then I would stay only for a moment because I'm not about to be under
oh,
the thumb of a person like that. At that point, if he not feeling me like that, then I would say okay. And then I would go back to that mother or the father and I would say okay. And then that's when I would start setting up my exit strategy and get the fuck on.
yeah. You play it
Jamal,
smart. Yeah.
same question, same scenario. Jamal?
Oh, my bad, sorry guys.
Oh, okay, you good.
I
Same question,
I'm
same scenario.
honestly in that scenario, I would hear my boss's warning and be like, nah, I don't think I could. And
Mm,
yeah, you said nothing about being in love with her. You just said she's bad, but if
yeah.
for the place of love, sometimes I don't think it's worth for everything that I have like worked for. Because that could be gone away at any moment. And I rather all that hard work to myself for now, instead of taking that risk of losing it by dating the boss daughter. Like you said, she could leave me for any old dude.
Yeah, and
So,
then you be ass out, and everything you work for down the toilet.
gone.
Mm,
So, why put myself at that risk?
Me, I'm
mm.
not taking that chance. I just simply wouldn't. I mean, first of all, if I had a boss and I knew that the boss's daughter was feeling me, I'm not. I don't date people at work anyway. So let alone date somebody that's in management and try or that's in charge like that and
Yeah,
dating
yeah.
whoever their offspring are. First of all, second of all, though, only I would like you said, London. I think it's important to have a plan and a strategy. But if I was gonna get into a situation like that, see, I don't plan to be somebody's employee forever. But
Right.
and if that scenario was the
Yeah,
situation, hopefully I will be in a position where I didn't need the boss. We're partners. We're
yeah,
partners, and my
yeah.
work
Exactly.
alone speak for itself.
Yeah,
Now, with that
exactly.
being said, if I wasn't in that situation, I wouldn't fuck with it.
Right,
I'm just
right.
keep it real.
But
Like,
if you was already in love, like you said, because if you already had a choice before you got into it, like okay, we not in love, and I'm just looking at
Ain't
her,
nobody gonna
yeah,
do that.
I'm not gonna do that. But if
yeah,
I'm
now if I'm in love
already
with her, if I'm in love
past
with
the
the woman,
threshold, you
yeah.
know,
If I'm in love with the woman, I'm gonna just have to put my mind. That's when I'm gonna have to put my heart on the back burner because, like I said, she could be here today, gone tomorrow. I'm not willing to.
And so,
Sometimes
but you would be willing to stay and work with the person that can put an ultimatum to you like that? What type of man would you feel like?
yeah,
if I stayed and work with a person that can put that kind of ultimatum on me, I'm a businessman. Number one, I will work until I will get my way up out that situation. If
Yeah.
that person does have the power to put that kind of leverage on me, and this
Mhm.
is why entrepreneurship is so important because
Mhm.
if you got your own shit together, you don't even have to worry about a situation like
and for one, if she was really for you, you know, if y'all waited years on in a relationship, if y'all was secretly dating, if she was really for you, you'd be like, look, babe, we gonna play this role and just like, you know, wait until my exit plan where I'll be like, all right, I got my own business, whatever. Cause right now I'm milking a cow right now. So I'm
yeah,
we you know what I'm saying? So it's not like
business first,
if she
always.
totally was with you, she'd be like, all right, babe, we're gonna do that shit. Like we gonna keep it on the low. That's it.
Yeah.
You feel me? It
I
ain't
would
no
do.
rush.
And like I said, man, if I got a goal and I got a specific goal and I'm trying to hit a mark by a certain time, I'm not even chancing it, bro. Like
Yeah.
because I'm putting myself in a position to be a boss. Now, when I become that boss that I want to be, then baby, you can come holler at me. So, and like I said, the situation is a little different from Harry and this situation because, like I said, he was born into it. He really didn't have to work for that for his title. It was given to him at birth. It was his birthright. So
Right.
it's a little different because I feel like we have more invested within that scenario since it was something that we had to work for our whole life. But like I said, I feel like when it do come to them, I feel like day one he wanted to rebel against his family because he knew what was up. I think when they did when they allegedly did what they did to his mom, I just felt like he was like, whatever, it is what it is. I ain't gonna be king no way. So why would I give a fuck? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Yeah.
again, and like I said, man, at the end of the day, I feel like if something happened with the both of them, he could always go back. He's a white man at the end of the day, and he could always go back. And that's why he didn't really necessarily disrespect his grandmother because he knows at the end of the day, he knows where his bread and butter is. And like I said, they will cut you off though if you do something to besmirch their name. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Besmirch the royal bloodline. But it is what it is. Those are her grandkids, and I just thought that was a interesting scenario.
Mm.
Well, boys and girls, is there anything else y'all would like to add before we shut this thing down?
Not really. I think I covered everything.
I think I'm good too.
I
All
would
right.
like to say it's Happy International Women's Day today, and it's good that we was talking about Miss Megan because the reason he was willing to walk away because it was the power of that black pussy. That a strong black woman pulled him up. Did you notice that all the women he dated prior to her was also black? He liked black. He liked the strong black woman. On Breakfast Club, they talked about dating black women. It had white men call in, and all the white men said the black woman makes you better, and a white woman to sit there and let you self destruct. So I
Okay.
think that it was easy for him to leave because he didn't covet being in that lifestyle anyway.
Mhm.
And apparently he knew what type of woman or what type of strength he needed to cling to be okay with leaving that lifestyle. And Megan ain't broke. So it's not like they going back to like nothingness. It's just not
Yeah,
as regal. But even when they was living that lifestyle, they didn't even choose the most regal places to live, or maybe they weren't given the most regal places to live. So, whatever.
yeah, yeah. Shout out to all the women out there, all the positive women, all the women that's doing something important in life and doing what they supposed to do. Happy Women's International Month and all that good stuff. Shout out to all the sisters out there. And but y'all know what it's time for. It's time for the best part of the show. CJ's joke of the day. Are y'all ready for that?
Shoot off,
All right.
bro.
I missed it.
All right. All right. Why do bees have sticky hair?
Why, man? Why?
Because they use a honeycomb. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a pleasure. And I want to thank my panel for joining me this evening. And I appreciate y'all taking the time out to come rock with me for an hour and a half, man. I really do appreciate that. And it means something to me. And before we go, I'm going to just need everybody looking for comments about some boo. I'm going to need everybody to let the people know where they can be found at. Danny, we're going to start with you. Where can the people find you?
Danielle, you can find me on IG at Fly Nurse Mom Wife.
Okay. Shout out to that. Jamal, I don't know if you want to be found, player. Would you like to tell the people something before you go?
Yeah, thank guys for having me here now on the panel. And check out my YouTube gaming page. It's called Dork Discussions. I got DBZ gaming. I got Mortal Kombat. I got Borderlands. I got a lot more content coming.
For sure, for sure. Shout out to that. Try guy, what's cracking with you?
Yo, you can find me on IG, _London, and you can also find me on YouTube, Try Guy London. And actually check me out on Apple Music and Spotify, Try Guy London. So I'm really everywhere. Just Google me. Also, you gotta say,
Hey.
Google me. I'm there.
Hey.
Google me. I ain't mad at that. And ladies and gentlemen, you know where to find me. www.cjkyles.com. Make sure y'all hit that Cash App at the CJ Kyles. YouTube.com/the first heartbeats. It's a new page. I mean, a new YouTube channel specifically dedicated for this podcast. I want to try to stick between uploading one and two podcasts a week. If you want to be on a panel, all you got to do is hit me up in the DMs. We having the discussion. Friday's topic is, can you be head of the household and not pay any bills? Can you be head of the household and not pay any bills? Boys and girls, I appreciate y'all joining me for another week. And like I said, y'all, I'm going to bid everyone adieu. Y'all have a good night.
Peace.
Right.
Peace.